Hi, this is Crime and Partner, and welcome back to Let's Play Valkyrie Profile. Now, in the last video, we finally got done with all the talking and story before Arngrim and Jolanda. Jeez, let me tell you, I'm glad that's over. Anyway, with that done, we're actually in the tutorial dungeon, where we will get to fight some monsters and get some treasure and stuff like that. Anyway, before we do that, I was in the middle of explaining the menu system in the prior video, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of finish that. You'll notice also I am on the little save point, so I can use divine item. So we'll go ahead and do that first. Now here I can actually buy like potions to use in battle, which I'm not really interested in, because as you can see, I've only got 2,000 materialized points, so this stuff's kind of expensive. What I am interested in though is equipment. Now I want to buy a hack blade for Arngrim, and this is why. Okay, now if you push triangle, you can see the description. If I press square, I can look at actual stats. If you compare the two, you'll notice that the attack power is 20 points higher, but there's more than that. You'll notice here that it says, 1, 2, and 3, and it's got X's and circles. And this one has a circle on the 2. This one has a circle on the 3. Okay. Well, the circles are the number of attacks that the weapon can make. In both cases, they can only make one attack, but the hack blade will use Arngrim's third attack, whereas the two-handed sword will use a second. I personally like his third attack more than the second, so this is a good thing for me. Also, you'll notice it has another stat, attack and hit trust. Attack trust is like the reliability of the damage. A high attack trust means you're more likely to hit for the max damage on the weapon. A low attack trust means you could hit all over the place as far as damage. It's very varied. Now, this isn't always the case for some certain weapons. There are some even with low attack trust that hit reliably. So, I mean, I'll try and go over some of those weapons as I see them, but generally that's what the stat means. Hit trust, it's your reliability to hit with the weapon. Honestly, I've never had issues with hitting. I really wouldn't worry too much about that stat. Anyway, we're going to pick up one of those, and then armor. Now, I want to get an Aegea garb for Valkyrie. This has a little bit higher in defense than what she's wearing, but it also will reduce darkness damage by 50%. So we'll get one of those. I also want to get a feather tiara for her. Same defense as what she's wearing right now, this thing, the sallet, but this one has a 50% fire damage reduction. So I'll get one of those. And I also want to get a greaves for Jolanda, just because, her being a mage, she's got low health and low defense, so this is going to be good for her. With that, we're going to go ahead and we'll equip them now. So, feather tiara, Aegea garb, next character, hack blade. Okay, this ether freeze on Freya. If you notice, it'll have her use her second attack. We don't want her to use her second attack. If we de-equip her, she'll actually do, I think it's her first attack, which is actually going to be a more useful attack for us. So it's better for her to be unequipped. Alright, so then we go to Jolanda and give her the greaves. Okay. Status, you can see a little description about them if you press the triangle. Tell you about them. But basically you can see their stats. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. Strength is physical damage, intelligence is magic, agility is chance to avoid attacks, dexterity is chance to hit. Again, even a level 1 character can hit, level 30s and up pretty reliably, provided you have the gear. That's the most important thing. And then the stats below are just kind of derived from the stats above and your equipment. Attack is actual physical damage. RDM is physical defense, avoidance. Hit, again, is kind of useless. Defense, I personally think, is kind of useless, the defense stat. And resist is magic resistance. And if we go down here, we can look at some other information about them. You also see resistances. Different characters actually have different innate resist against certain properties. As you can see, one that has high resist against holy, things like that. And you can see their setups, like what skills you have equipped, what their attacks are. Because I mentioned Arngrim's second and third attack. This is where you can actually see what those attacks are. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We've done enough talking and no action. So, Freya will be telling me lots of little things here and there. Brandishing the sword. if you attack a monster with the sword, because you can see them on the screen so you can avoid them, you will be guaranteed to get the first strike. If you don't, then they could hit you first. You might be able to hit them first. It's not a good deal. So you really want to make sure. You can also freeze them, which they'll go into a little more later, but I'm going to be selective about what I fight. Alright, so we're going to pick up the bag by going down an X. Iron barred key. This is a unique item for this dungeon to open the locked door we'll come across later. Okay, Eye of Heavens are, honestly, they're really just better for selling purposes. You can transmute them into money. They'll give you 1,000 materialized points, which is much better than their actual use, because all it does is basically kind of show you the map. It's not really that worth it. Especially early in the game, having materialized points are going to be much more important. So anyway, we use the key. Yeah, Fred neglects to tell me that there's a monster underneath me that I could very well drop on. So we're going to try to avoid that. Alright, this is the part where Fred kind of explains the crystals that I've already been using, but she's going to tell me a different use for them. If I actually shoot them on the wall, I can make platforms, or I can break them too. But anyway, we're going to use a crystal and get up here now. Yeah, there are other uses, and I'll kind of try and explain them as I actually, come across using them. Right now, we're going to go down. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and show you this fight. And just kind of explain things.
To my side, my noble
now, since I did attack with the sword, all of my characters are ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and try and attack these pongos in a nice chain here. Wow, I didn't get anything in that. It was sad. Okay, these pongos, they'll drop the normalize spell, so that may be handy to know in the future. Oh, look at that. That's a counterattack. Alright, now you'll notice on Jolanda, her little circle's not lit up. Well, if you look below where her health is, where it says 300 and it says CT, you'll see a little orange thing. This is her charge turn. As long as she's got charge turns, she won't be able to do anything. So, what you can do though, ooh, we got a treasure. That's a normalized probably. See those little purple orb things? Those things will reduce charge time by 1. So if you can get a whole lot of those, you can keep the attack chains going over and over. Oh, that was much better. Now, Purify Weird Soul again is the finisher attacks. Since I killed it, I'm not going to worry about it just because those things take a long time. But I'll be sure to show you a little later. Oh, I did not kill him. I could also get blue crystals, and they will actually increase the amount of experience I get in battles up to a maximum of 40 crystals, or magic gems they call it, which would actually double the experience I got in the battle. I got 2 treasures and I got 2 normalizes. Very nice. If we go over here, come to this big pillar. Alright, so we're going to hit it twice. And we got 500 event experience. You may remember I said as you do certain things outside of battle, you can get experience that'll get pulled into your experience orb to divvy out. This is it right here. Yes, Freya, I already told them. Alright, well, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Next episode, we'll continue going through the Artolian Mountain Ruins and see about working our way to the boss. This is Crime and Partner. Thanks for watching. See you next, Crime.